Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. So I get this question quite a lot, talking about binaries and binary robots. What's the truth about these binary robots that we hear so much about? I know the binary industry has been booming recently, a bit of a decline at the moment, but I run a trading group once a month. We will come in and we chat and we talk about trading, and often I get new traders coming in all the time who are talking about binaries and these binary robots and stuff, and they say, hey, what's it all about? So let me do a video because I know that it's a common question people have. Many of you watching this already will already know the answer to what I'm going to say to this, but if you haven't, this will be interesting for you. So very quickly, let's just talk about what a binary is. A binary literally has a yes or no outcome. Now, traditionally, when the binaries first came out, they would be settled between 0 and 100 and you buy them at a certain price. That's not the case with the majority of them now. I'm not talking about these sort of type. I'm talking about a type where they're just a binary trading or binary betting company, and they offer this type of bet. And the bet basically says yes or no. If you're right, we'll give you 85% of your stake back. If you're wrong, you lose your stake. So you put in £100 on the bet. If you're right, you get back an extra £85. If you're wrong, then you lose all of your £100. So you go minus 100. Okay, so that's the outcome, plus 85 minus 100, right or wrong. So what is kind of the sort of things that you're right or wrong about? So they'll be structured like this, and they'll basically say, hey, will the euro, so let's say, or euro US dollar, go up in the next 5 minutes. Okay, that's pretty much an outcome. The outcome is going to be yes, it will, or no, it won't. And you're placing your bet based on that. So the current price of the euro, whatever that may be, and it's basically saying, okay, is it going to be up or down in the next 5 minutes? And you pick which one you want. And if you're right, you say you put your stake on. Let's say you put a stake as £100. If you're right, you get back £85 plus your stake. If you're wrong, you'll lose all of it. Okay, so the problem you've got with this is that it's just literally playing a game where the house has a massive edge. You can just automatically see, one of you looking at this would have seen that straight away, that hey, if you're getting back £85 and you're losing the full 100 each time, you've got a massive negative expectancy. Now, we've got to assume, right, and I'm assuming this, and I've been trading for a while, and you should assume this as well. This is with the fallacy, that problem with binaries is that the chance of the price going up or down at any one point is 50-50. Okay, that's just the fact that happens with when you're trading options, when you look at how options are calculated. Now, many of you are going to go, well, that's not true. There is a caveat in there. Of course, as traders, we are trying to find a place where we believe the odds are slightly skewed in our favor. So it's gone down loads, we think it's going to now pop up, or whatever it may be. Okay, so we're trying to find a position, but the most edge that we have as traders, not from binaries, is that we have a risk-reward ratio that's in our favor, and we have the probability of it working in our favor. And we're trying to adjust both of those things, so they work nicely. Now, it's fine if it's a 50-50, but if the risk-reward ratio is kind of 3 to 1, 5 to 1, that's a good payout, right? If we then go down to like a 70% chance of it working, the trade working, and the payout is 50-50, that's still pretty good. But when you have a trade set up where it's 50-50 and the payout is less than, you know, twice your money, so you've got a real negative expectancy, then you can see how that doesn't work. So you've got a situation now where, you know, in theory, it's 50-50 where you're going to go up or down in the next however long time period you do. That's what the price is based on. But you're being paid out less than that expectancy. Now, what the brokers and these robots, well, we'll get to the point now about the robots, is they will try and say, hey, listen, but we're very good at picking direction. We're very good at picking a time when we think we're right more than 50% of the time. We're right 70% of the time, and that will work out nicely for us because we're only going to lose this and we're going to make this. And the problem you've got with that is that you can never ever have the outlier trades. And we talked about the Pareto principle. You get 80-20 rule, where 20% of your trades are giving you 80% of your income. Now, this is not possible with binaries because you're capping your trading potential profit. Now, I know you're capping your loss as well, but you should be doing that anyway with trading. So if you're capping your profit all the time, anytime you have a decent trade, you can only ever make 85% of your stake. And if a robot is there, and the idea of these robots, guys, before we go off on a tangent of talking about, the actual binaries, the idea of these robots is, listen, the house has got an edge, the broker has got an edge. They're doing it because it's a 50-50 trade, and they are just giving you a negative expectancy each time. And the more money they can just flow through, like the casino, the roulette wheel, you've got black and white, red and black, and you've got the negative expectancy of the 0 green. Exactly the same thing. They're just going to churn away. And do you think that if these robots were any good, they would be wasting their time on a binary where the outcome is, capped at 85% of your stake? Nobody in the industry will consider that as a good trade. If you have back-tested an algorithm or a system or a strategy that you have put into some kind of robot, then you're going to be looking for the trades that are going to yield many times your risk. It just doesn't make sense. So the point of these robots is they'll just churn. And what happens is you'll see, if you can imagine, it will literally be like tossing a coin. It will literally be like tossing a coin. And they know that even if they had an algorithm that literally is randomized and went long, short, long, short, when we talk about tossing a coin over a thousand times, you're going to get a period where you're going to get 20, 30 heads in a row, tails in a row. It's not going to be very, very linear. And so these robots are going to go through times where they have win. They'll look great on paper, but of course, it's just purely the odds playing out. There's no skill to these guys that are picking out specific trade ideas and direction. It's just literally the mathematical probability of a 50-50 play, and they can say, oh, we won. Yeah, if you stop there, you'd be up on it and you'd think it is a great thing. But if you're carrying over a long period of time, eventually you're going to get 50% winners, 50% losers, but you're going to lose your money because of that 15% haircut. When they're only giving you 85% back and they're taking 0%, they're taking 15% every time you win. So even if you win 50-50, ultimately you're going to lose all your money. Now, this is a big topic actually, and we haven't talked about some of the binaries that are a little bit different and structured a bit differently, where you get a bit more of a ratio. But most of the time people talk about binaries and these fixed odds kind of things where they say, hey, listen, you get a fixed number of a fixed percentage back on your return, a fixed return back on your risk, should I say, or your investment, and you've got to predict the direction. So it seems easy to newer guys. They're like, hey, all I'll do is predict this, and I can put down, £10, or I know how much I'm risking. I don't have to be confused about this unlimited risk thing that we have going on with trading and stuff. And unfortunately, these companies and these robots, they prey on it. And they say, hey, listen, and they probably have a track record where they run multiple robots, knowing that even if they do 50-50 on all of them, a randomized strategy, they can pluck one out that has a good track record purely with the way that the structure, when you're tossing a coin. So say, listen, this one's won really well for the last month. Do you want to buy it? Do you want to rent it? However they lease it or whatever they do monthly subscription. People go, yeah, I'm in on that. But of course, over time, they know that eventually it will iron out for them and they're going to take the money. And they don't even care because they're getting the haircut anyway, the 15% haircut. So my advice, steer clear of them. Complete waste of time. Don't get involved in it. You can give yourself a good edge if you just trade one specific. If you believe you've got an edge, now I'm going to stretch this video out a little bit, but if you believe you've got an edge in the market and you believe, hey, you know what, I can pick the direction, then go to the traditional route. CFD, spread bet, obviously with all the risk disclaimers involved in that, make sure it's the right thing for you, but you can get far more return and far more potential return on your money, and the house edge isn't just, and the game isn't completely skewed against you by trading with this thing. And then the final thing is just stay away from these robots. These are a complete scam, a complete waste of time. You are just literally paying little bits of money each time, and over the time you will just lose all your money because it's skewed against, the odds are skewed against you and the game's completely skewed against you. All right guys, hope that helps. Hope you didn't get caught up in these binary robot scams. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree, and your thoughts are always appreciated. Take care, bye bye.